Waste collection is on hold for now in parts of Cape Town. Officials say this is due to threats of violence unless workers pay protection fees to criminals in these areas. Gang violence is also affecting services in some parts of Cape Town. For more on this, let's speak to the city's Urban Waste Management MMC, Grant Twigg. Grant, a very good evening to you. Welcome to Newzroom Afrika. So first things first, how exactly do these extortion rackets work?
Hi, good evening, Tembekile, and good evening to your viewers. And yes, these, we really don't know how they operate. All that we know that they're very shrewd in how they what they do, because it's very organized. And they, it's as if they come out of nowhere, targeting our vehicles. They know exactly where our guys are working, and then they approach the guys with firearms and just give their threats through. And at one particular time, they just made a point of robbing one of the guys as well.
When you say come out of nowhere, does that suggest or mean that this is a new trend, and as far as it affects municipal workers? Because I know, for example, some business people in Cape Town have already complained over the years that they too have to pay over a portion of their profits in order to get protection or face attack by criminal syndicates.
Yes, this is a new trend now. They're targeting the municipal workers directly, because previously what they did, they confronted the contractors that has been contracted with the city of Cape Town. What they're now doing is, because in some of the areas we don't have contractors anymore, so they're targeting the city staff directly, that is doing the collections and the cleansing in the area.
And when you say there are demands for money made from officials or at officials, how much do these criminals want? What are they demanding? How much? Is there a figure?
They don't give a figure. In fact, on the two occasions, they're just saying that if our staff wants to do their normal services in the area, they must pay for it. They haven't given us any amounts of what they want. They just want protection fees for us to work in those areas.
And it's multiple areas. Just for viewers who may not have seen this, Guguletu, Philippi East, Nyanga, Manenberg, all affected by this problem, where you've now had to withdraw services temporarily. Why are you not able to go into those communities and continue to service them, perhaps with the protection of the SAPS or private security?
What we have done now, and today we've successfully had our different meetings, we will be going into the areas starting on Saturday, with protection from our own internal safety and security staff, that will be escorting our teams into the different areas. And we're starting to do the backup work as from Saturday. Most probably also work on Sunday. And then from Monday coming, we'll be doing our normal routes in the particular areas. I just want to correct one thing, that in Manenberg it wasn't any extortion. It was, we had to withdraw because of gang violence. They were shooting at each other, having gang fights, shooting over the streets and so on. So we had to withdraw for the protection of our own staff. But the areas was Guguletu, Nyanga, Philippi, and parts of Kailicha, where we had these extortions happening.
So, Grant, what's now informed the decision to resume services on Saturday? I know you're going to be going back in with security, but what assessment has been done to say that it is now safe to do so?
No, it's not safe. We're not saying it's safe. What we have done, we've now had the safety and security department deploying sufficient staff to assist us in going into those areas. We're hoping that we won't have any incidents of threats or attacks, but at least now we know that our staff can go into the areas with the protection of our safety and security staff.
And in terms of that intervention then, is it going to be a long-term thing, a permanent thing, and is it sustainable?
Well, we are hoping it's going to be for as long as possible, but what I've also put in place, and today again we've We've met with our councillors of those areas. We've met with the sub-councils. We will be having community engagements, because we definitely need our communities to be part of the solution. We know that our community members are also quite scared, but it is a fact that these individuals or groupings, they are from those communities, and we want to have our communities to be part of the solution. If not being the protection, but to identify these individuals, because it's somebody's son, it's somebody's brother, it's somebody's husband that is involved in this, and we want to actually start identifying these individuals so that SAPS can actually know who they are and apprehend them and take them out of that community.
The problem, though, is with criminals that are embedded in communities or that are part of a community is that, especially if they're armed and dangerous, people may fear that if they did go to police to report, as we've heard similarly with cases of gang violence in parts of the Cape, people say they don't feel that they'll live to see the end of that day because no one will protect them. So how do you ensure that those who want to assist police and report these people will themselves be given guarantees of safety post?
Yes, we definitely understand that, but we might be getting some information on people coming forward and not identifying themselves, and we definitely won't identify people that bring us the information, and definitely not also SAP. So we have to get. We don't have all the answers. We definitely don't have all the answers, but we're hoping that we will get the community to work and support us in these actions that we're trying to have. And also, when we have the community engagements, we want to stress the point that we don't want to withdraw the services, because we don't want our people to live in that state where there's waste all over. We've seen what's happening elsewhere in the country. We're not wanting to go that route. We want to have collections done, and we're asking people also, if you don't want to directly be part of the solution, tell us how else we can do it, because we don't have all the answers. But one thing that we know is that these individuals live in those communities. They're there. They're not from Mars. They're not from another country. They're from those communities, and we want our communities to assist us. And also taking their safety into account, we want to work and look at possible solutions that we don't also put our communities' lives at risk.
This also speaks, does it not, to a failure in policing, because you've got what's been a long-standing and, in fact, growing problem around Cape Town, where there are these extortion rings. First, they targeted places like the nightclub industry, businesses in town, etc., where people say, well, if you want to be able to operate and keep your doors open, you just have to make peace with the fact that you're going to have to pay over a portion of what you make. To operate a spaza shop in some townships in Cape Town, we're told you actually have to pay money to these criminals. Now they're going for city officials, and it seems as though they are calling the shots. Why have police failed to get to the bottom of it before it got to this level?
Well, I think, it's public knowledge by now that our provincial government has asked for more control over the SAPs and the resources. And I think national government must really just see how they can come to the party, because if you're not able to render the service from a national level, then you actually got to bring it closer and allow the province that is the best province in the country to actually assist you in running a police service that can actually equip its people and its staff on the ground.
But for now, there's been a failure. Police are failing to protect the people and the larger community in Cape Town, be it residents, be it people who work for the city, be it those who want to run honest businesses.
Yes, SAPS is failing, but from our side, we don't want to go the blaming game. We want to get to solutions, and we're hoping that the national minister and the national government will actually see our pleas. And instead of refusing the province to be in more control of SAPS, actually just realize that they've lost control. They've lost control, and they should be allowing the province and the city to actually have a better control over the way that we run the city, and that we actually create a system that will be protecting our communities.
Grant Twigg, good to speak to you.